The Toronto Blue Jays finally found a moment they desperately needed. After days of frustration, offensive struggles, and painful losses, Toronto walked off the Tampa Bay Rays in dramatic fashion with a 5-3 victory thanks to Daulton Varsho's unforgettable walk-off grand slam. And honestly, it may have been the biggest moment of the Blue Jays season so far. The Blue Jays entered the game desperately trying to snap their losing skid. The pressure around the team had been building with every loss, especially because the offense continued struggling to deliver in big moments. Against a division rival like Tampa Bay, the tension felt even heavier. For much of the night, it looked like the same frustrating story again. The Rays jumped ahead early and controlled the pace of the game. Toronto's offense had opportunities throughout the night, but struggled to capitalize consistently, something that has become a major issue for this team recently. By the late innings, the Blue Jays were still trailing 3-1. Fans inside Rogers Center were growing restless. The pressure was massive, and honestly, another loss would have only increased the frustration surrounding this team. But then everything changed. Toronto finally started building momentum late in the game. The lineup showed more fight, more energy, and more urgency than fans had seen during the losing streak. The Blue Jays cut the deficit and slowly created pressure against the Rays' bullpen. Then came the ninth inning. With the bases loaded and the Blue Jays trailing by 2 runs, Daulton Varsho stepped into the batter's box with a chance to completely change the night. And he delivered the biggest swing of Toronto's season. Varsho crushed a pitch deep into the seats for a walk-off grand slam, instantly turning a frustrating night into one of the most emotional wins of the year. Blue Jays win, 5-3. Game over. The stadium exploded immediately. Teammates stormed out of the dugout. Fans completely lost their minds. And for the first time in days, the Blue Jays looked like a team playing with real confidence again. It wasn't just a home run. It was a release of frustration, because this team desperately needed something positive to happen. Varsho's reaction told the entire story too. Pure emotion, pure adrenaline. You could see how much that moment meant not only to him, but to the entire clubhouse. And honestly, it felt like the perfect player for that moment. Even during difficult stretches this season, Varsho has continued bringing intensity and energy every single night. His defense remains elite, his effort is never questioned, and teammates consistently praise the emotion he brings to the field. That's why moments like this matter so much. Big players create big moments. And no moment gets bigger than a walk-off grand slam against a division rival, especially for a team trying to stop momentum from spiraling in the wrong direction. The Blue Jays didn't just need a win. They needed belief again, because losing streaks can destroy confidence quickly in baseball. Every missed opportunity starts feeling heavier. Players begin pressing too hard. The frustration builds inning after inning. That pressure had clearly started affecting Toronto recently. But with one swing, Varsho completely changed the atmosphere around the team. Now the Blue Jays suddenly have life again. And maybe most importantly, this could become a huge turning point for Varsho himself. When Toronto acquired him, expectations were extremely high. The organization believed they were adding one of the best defensive outfielders in baseball, while also bringing in another dangerous offensive weapon. Defensively, Varsho continues proving his value almost every night. But offensively, consistency has sometimes been difficult. That's why this moment felt so important. A walk-off grand slam can completely reignite confidence for a player. And if Varsho starts heating up offensively, the entire Blue Jays lineup suddenly looks much deeper and much more dangerous moving forward. The Blue Jays still have work to do. One win alone doesn't erase every issue facing this team. The offense still needs more consistency overall. The pitching staff still faces pressure. And the American League playoff race remains extremely competitive. But emotionally, this one felt massive. Because baseball seasons often turn on moments exactly like this. One swing, one emotional victory, one unforgettable celebration that completely changes the feeling inside a clubhouse. Toronto is hoping Daulton Varsho's walk-off grand slam becomes exactly that kind of moment. For one night at least, the losing streak was over, and the Blue Jays finally had something worth celebrating again after an unforgettable 5-3 comeback win over the Rays.